What I do with my paper? It's kind of warm in here. All right. Thank you for joining Cocktails and Conversations. I am Jameelah, your hostess for today. I am waiting to see who is going to join us before we jump into our topics. So today you guys have me, yours truly, all to yourself. So if there's ever anything you wanted to know about me, today is your day to ask those questions. Get to know me personally. Hump Day, Wednesday. Who's that? Hey, Daniel. Is that Danielle? I see legs. Hey, Danielle, how are you? Thanks for joining my live. Okay, so while I wait for people to join, I guess we could talk about how our weekend was or how my weekend was anyway. I always forget what I do the previous weekend, but let me see. I know I did go to the dentist. I wanted to check into some braces and yeah, they said they had to pull like 4 of my teeth at the same time. So needless to say, I didn't get them pulled because they were my front teeth they wanted to pull. And I'm not quite ready for that just yet. All right. So as I wait, I see someone else has joined. Thank you for joining the live. All right, so I'll go ahead and jump into these topics that I have today. I wanted to talk about P Valley. We the last time I was with you guys was like 2 weeks ago, so I missed you guys last week. We talked about Lil Murder. And Lil Murder on P Valley, there was a lot of controversy because of the scenes that they had, because they were homosexual scenes, him and his friend who he was in jail with. Then there was a little talk about how, I think her name is Mercedes, how she had a lesbian scene, but it was more so of a double standard because it was a lot of people talking about Lil Murder. Well, anyway, for those of you who do watch P Valley, if you saw last week's episode, I want to kind of jump into what happened on P Valley. And it was just a lot that was going on. But the main thing I want to focus on is Lil Murder again, how I don't think that he was recognizing the red flags in his friend to see his depression or to see the things that he was struggling with in life. And when I was watching the show, like how he kept trying to dismiss Lil Murder and telling him like, where you want to go? Like he didn't want to be around him, which was weird. At first I was thinking maybe he didn't want to be around him because he was in his feelings, because he found out that Murder actually had feelings for Uncle Clifford. But he was going through a lot and he ended up taking his life, and he took his life right there in front of his friend. Now, I feel like that is a lot to handle. You know, they say God don't give you no more than what you can bear, of course, but you know, sometimes we take our life decisions in our own hands and make rational decisions. The part that I want to point out the most is, or that bothered me the most and made me think about the show days after watching it, was when after himself in the car and killed himself, Lil Murder got out and he went to Uncle Clifford's house. And what he said to Uncle Clifford was, I am not okay. And a lot of times I know that a lot of Facebook keep things to yourself, but me personally, I don't agree. I think that if you're battling something in your life and you're struggling with something, you don't really know how to address that situation, you should say, I am not okay. You should never be afraid to let somebody know that you are not okay. And that was the main thing that I took from that show. Everything that was going on, that part touched me the most was when he went to Uncle Clifford's house and he was crying and he was telling him he's not okay. Because a lot of times people around us, it looked like they happy. It looked like they have everything going on. You be like, what could possibly be wrong with this person? And they're not okay. They're suffering in silence. And they could be thinking about suicide. And if you just took the time out to listen and hear them out or let them vent, you might could save their life and prevent them from killing themselves. Because sometimes it be the strongest people. It could be the people that have everything going on in their world, and to you on the outside, it look like they have nothing to worry about. But I just want to say we should try to normalize letting people know that we're not okay, even if you don't want to get counseling. And for some reason, a lot of people don't believe in counseling. They don't test it out. My thing is, if you've never tried it, how you know that it's not going to work? I hear a lot of good feedback from people that go to counseling. And a lot of people, sometimes they get too caught up in things and they say stuff like, oh, well, this person, their life ain't together. How they going to tell me something? Well, maybe they can tell you something because their life is not together, and they can tell you, well, this is where I went wrong, or this is what I did, and this is what caused me to feel the way that I feel or be in this situation that I'm in. And you can learn from them, because you don't want to end up where they are. They're trying to help you get to a better place than where they ended up. So don't think just because somebody went through something or their life look a mess that they can't offer you some good advice that can help you or prevent you from feeling suicidal or feeling depressed, angry, sad, disappointed, upset, all those negative feelings. All right. So next on P Valley, what I wanted to talk about was Miss Mississippi. Now, Miss Mississippi, she's a beautiful young lady. She has 2 kids by this young man who is of another race than her. Let's see. I'm sorry. Hey, Ella. Therapy is the bomb. Yes, help to lead me and guide me. Absolutely. I agree. And I'm so glad that you came on here and shared that, because a lot of people don't even realize that it's a lot of people that's getting counseling, and that's why they haven't snapped. That's why they haven't killed somebody else, because everybody don't have suicidal thoughts. Some people have homicidal thoughts, and those are the people you need to worry about, because in this world, I personally feel like a lot of people, they take human life for granted. They make humans very disposable. Every time you turn it on the news, somebody killing somebody. We're having all these mass shootings in the world. And that to me says people don't care about human life. So seek therapy, seek counseling, and you should promote and you should offer to help somebody or encourage somebody else to go get counseling, because that might save somebody else's life, not just necessarily their life. It might save them from killing somebody. So that's 2 lives that you save just by recommending that somebody talk to somebody on their chest. All right. Speaking of counseling, let's get back to P Valley and get back to Miss Mississippi. Now, Miss Mississippi, her life to me seems like she's just all over the place with the baby daddy that she have. And I like that last week they kind of gave us some history and let us see like where she came from, why she is the way that she is. And that's plays into a lot of topics that we've discussed about blending families. We talk about how important it is to make sure that your kids are comfortable in a situation at home when you date somebody or when you marry somebody else and you have children. Because my outlook on it, she ended up staying with her dad, who had like this evil stepmom. And then I'm not gonna say she was in competition, but her stepsisters are in competition with her, kind of like a Cinderella type story from my observation of the show. I would say that even though P Valley took place in like the 2000s, it still showed a lot of colorism in what Miss Mississippi went through with her peers, making fun of her because of her skin complexion. And then the boyfriend, the white guy who's now her baby daddy, he came in and made her feel beautiful, treated her good from the beginning by protecting her. But then he turned around and he decides to beat on her himself. And not only did he beat on her, he beat on their kids. The babies are both his babies, and he beat on them too. So my question is, and I see this all the time on social media. I think I just saw on Instagram there was a story where a young lady got into it with her boyfriend, or maybe he was her baby daddy boyfriend. I'm not for sure. They got into it, and then another guy intervened to break up the altercation, and the boyfriend or the baby daddy shot the guy who jumped in the altercation to protect the woman, and he killed the guy who was trying to protect the woman, and then the woman drove off or rode off with her baby daddy or her boyfriend. So my question to everybody is, and this is not just for the men, it's for moms, dads, boys, girls, whoever. The world that we live in now, let me back it up. I know back in the day, if a woman was getting attacked by a man, another man seeing it, a real man would jump in and he would protect that woman and do something about it. Or if a woman saw another woman getting beat up by a man, she would call the police. Speed up, fast forward to now, 2022. You could be going down the street and you could see a woman being attacked by a man, and people are not calling the police. They're taking out their cell phones and they doing this here. They're trying to record it and go viral from it. And I kind of understand, like, when a man see another man abusing a woman, he might not want to get involved, because what if she go back to him? What if she turn on him? Just like on P Valley, I think his name is Diamond. He tried to protect Miss Mississippi because he's secretly in love with her, and he beat up her baby daddy. And guess what? She pulled a gun on him, and then she left with her baby daddy. So it's like, should men feel safe or feel obligated to help a woman that is being abused, that's in a domestic relationship, or even a sibling that is in a domestic relationship? She call you and say, this dude beating up on me. That's your big brother. You call him and he come over, and now he's going to be in jeopardy of either beating up your baby daddy, who you still probably going to be with, and now it's drama, or he going to kill him, and now he going to jail because you decided to stay with the crazy baby daddy. All right, so let me read some of these comments. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Janisa, I miss you. All right, so Miss Ella say, Miss Mississippi is so typical. I've seen a Black woman go through this in Copper Tree. She was hurt with 3 beautiful babies by him. No, she puked a gun on that last man's. Ella, I need you to look at your text messages or proofread, because trying to read your messages, you got me sounding very crazy. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Can you please retype what you said about Miss Mississippi? Hey, Bree, hope you're enjoying work. But yeah, back to Miss Mississippi. That topic, I think I also saw it trending on social media. There was another podcast that I was watching, and the guy was asking the girl, like, if you get into it with the guy, what you gonna do? And she was like, oh, I'm gonna call my brother. My brother gonna come and he gonna pull up. And it was like, okay, well, what if the guy you get into it with pull a gun out on your brother? And hey, Kay, she was saying, it don't matter, because my brother, he always stays strapped. So the guy was saying to her, okay, so you're getting into it with a guy and you call your brother. So your brother comes over, he's gonna kill the guy, and now your brother go to prison. And the girl just really had no remorse. I can't tell people how to live or how to be, but I'm gonna tell you this. I only have one son. And back in the day, yes, I would fight for my child. I would fight a kid for my child if I had to. But times have changed. Times are different nowadays. You can't fight somebody, and like they said on Friday, you can't fight and live to see another day. People don't know how to take L's. People don't know how to fight and squash it, move on about their business. It doesn't work like that. You can whoop somebody today, and then they're going to come back and they're going to kill you. So my question is it worth it? Just because you get into an argument with somebody, do you have to pull a gun out on them? No. Somebody steal your parking spot. Somebody cut you off in traffic. Somebody step on your white tennis shoes. Cut them out. Keep it moving. You don't have to pull a gun and you don't have to kill them. What people fail to realize is once you pull that trigger and you take somebody's life, there's no coming back from that at all. So you've taken somebody's son or daughter out of this world too soon. Maybe somebody's mom, somebody's sister. That's not fair. People should be more compassionate and more empathetic towards human life. And it doesn't seem like they are. All right, Kay, you say like that girl in the store. Which girl in the store? Are we talking about P Valley still? Tell me what you mean, the girl in the store. I'm trying to think back on the episode to see if I can think of anything about a girl in the store. But I do know that Miss Mississippi, I felt so bad for her when she finally realized that she needed to leave him. And when she took her daughter, I think it's a son, when she took her baby to the doctor and the baby had like bruises on his ribs and you could tell that he had been shaken. Once she seen that her baby daddy did not mean the best for her children, she should have left then, but I guess she was scared because he's abusive. But she talked to him. She was like, you could beat on me, but you can't beat on my kids. So she waited for him to leave so that she can leave him. When she tried to leave, go out, that dude, he had already taken like the spark plugs or whatever he had taken out of her car. So she couldn't go anywhere. And now she's stuck with him. I don't think she has any family she can call because they kind of deserted her when she got pregnant by the guy. But she could call the guy who actually killed the guy that tried to rape her. All right, so let's see. Miss Ella says, yeah, typo. I witnessed a black woman and a white man in the hood I lived in, and that white man was god awful. Yet she had beautiful children. Beautiful children or not, if somebody is god awful to you, they're beating on you, abusing you, mistreating you, take you and them beautiful kids and you get out of there. Life is too short to be living with somebody that's gonna beat on you and abuse you and make you feel bad. All right, so Kay says, no, you were talking about taking L's right now in the news. The store girl, I got beat up and then shot her. Okay, so you saying that something in the news about a girl that was at a store, she got beat up and got shot? I'm sorry, I have not seen that on the news. I'm unaware. I need you to be more specific or be more detailed. But that just goes to show, like nowadays everybody's packing. You don't know who's packing. It's not illegal to carry a gun if you live in the state of Texas, so you have to be careful. I typed that right. LOL, you read it wrong. Okay, so let me go back and read it again. The store girl got beat up. Okay, the store girl. I don't know who the store girl is, but okay. She got beat up and then shot. It's just a video going around. Okay, so it's a video going around about a girl at the store that got beat up and shot. She got beat up at the store, then she got shot. So I guess let me ask this question. You're in an altercation with somebody. They get the best of you. They beat you up. If they beat you up, why do they need to shoot you? And if they beat you up, why are you sticking around to get shot? Like a lot of times people allow their pride to get in the way and cause them to be put in compromised situations. I'm too old to be fighting anybody. So I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say it very clear. I try to avoid altercations if I can. I don't like arguing with people. I'm over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not even going to keep on having a disagreement in a conversation with you. If I see that you're not trying to understand my point of view, I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, and keep it moving. Like, I got more things to do with my time than sit up and argue with somebody and keep disagreeing with somebody who don't know how to agree to disagree. But if I get into an altercation with somebody and somebody beat me up, which has never happened, knock on wood, I'm not sticking around for you to shoot me afterwards. I never understood that. I see all the time people get beat up and then they keep running back to the person that beat them up. That doesn't make sense to me. Why are you running back to the person that just beat you down? That's crazy. All right. So what happened before the Hun? Ella, again, I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean? What happened before the Hun? What you mean before the Hun? I want to see if you're going to answer this question before we go on to our next topic, because the next topic is something we've been talking about all day on Facebook. Hey, Alfreda. Thanks for joining. Now, my question, does anybody want to answer the question? If you see somebody getting beat up, what are you going to do? Are you going to take out your phone and record? Are you going to go intervene and try to break up the fight? Are you going to call the cops? What you going to do? You going to mind your business? You going to look the other way? What you going to do? Because if you look the other way, are you just as guilty as the person that's doing the beating? Like, we don't know the situation. What if that person provoked that situation? Now, I'm a firm believer that men should not hit women. But, or maybe I should say, however, I learned that in soft skill training instead of saying, but however, I am a firm believer in if somebody hits you, knock their ass out. So that goes for men and women. Women should not hit men if they don't expect to get hit back. Because when I was a child growing up, my mama told me if somebody hit you, hit them back. My mama didn't go to church when she got grown. She went to church when she was younger. So that turn the other cheek, my mama never taught me that part. She taught me if somebody hit you, you them. She didn't used to curse back in the day, but nowadays she might say knock their ass out. Back then when I was a kid, she'd tell me if somebody hit you, you knock the hell out of them. So if somebody hit you, you hit them back. You know, I feel like if I'm maybe walking down the street or I'm driving and I see a girl getting drugged, I'll probably call the police. I'm not going to intervene. I'm not going to jump in. I don't know what she did to that person that caused them to drag her. And I don't know if the person that's dragging her going to drag me. I actually like my skin on my body. I don't want it to be scuffed up on the ground at all. I'm going to mind my business, but I will do my duty and call the police because I don't want to see nobody getting beat up. Like, I don't want to have to ever kill somebody in self-defense, you know, period. Like, that's just, it's not my place to take somebody's life. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. All right, so let's see what we have. Ella say gun. Free to say, hey, I call the cops. Latricia, I know that's right. I will call the cops as well. Do not get involved in the one that get killed. It's always the innocent bystanders who end shot, killed, hurt, or injured. It's never the people that's involved. It's always like the innocent person that get hurt. Kay says she's not intervening. Free to say, if it's my girls, I'm jumping in. Okay, I feel you on that. Like, for example, like if me and my girls be at the club and then, you know, we all together and somebody beefing with my girls, I'm gonna say, man, for this, let's go. And if they don't want to go and the other person throw the first lick, I'm gonna see, you know, what they do one-on-one. But if it's a jumping situation and I know that I can take them out, then yeah, I'm gonna go in and jump in and help. But for the most part, I only got 60 seconds of fighting me, so I'm gonna tell my friends to walk away. Ella say, is this a friendship question? No, it's not a friendship question. Alfreda asked as a friendship question, but the question was really like a hypothetical question. Like, for example, you walking down the street and you see a man dragging a woman or he beating up a woman, or you see two women fighting, you know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna call the cops? Are you gonna try to break it up? Or are you gonna look the other way and keep it moving? That's the question. Kay says she mind her business. Ella, funny, I've been with men that made sure I can protect myself. That's good. That is really good. You should be able to protect yourself. Kay say, I say that all the time. If you hit a man, expect to get hit back. Exactly. If you hit anybody, expect to get hit back. That's why, like, I feel like kids, toddlers too, they all can get it. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back, because that's the only way a child is gonna learn. You don't supposed to go around hitting people. And like I used to tell my son, if somebody hit you and they playing, you still hit them back harder. That way they know not to play with you like that no more. I never been into that, you know, like play hitting and play fighting and stuff like that. I don't even like when people play throwing fake slugs or whatever, because it makes me feel like that's how you really feel. That's how you really feel. You just doing it and acting like you joking about it, but you be for real. All right, like Teresa saying, if they too big, pick up some. Exactly. My mom used to tell me that too. You know, you fighting somebody. I'm gonna say it like this: I've never lost a fight. I never had to use a weapon in a fight. But if I feel like somebody trying to fight me, and I know that they look like they possibly can beat me up, it's not going to be a fair fight at all. And really, at 44 years old, I'm not fighting anybody. I'm not at all. If they come in my house, best believe I'm team first and ask questions later. Okay, I know that I probably read that wrong, but I get it. You say first thing, you're going to shoot first and ask questions later. Hey, Foster. All right, so Ella, your brother up there. Let me ask you this question since your brother is online. If you see your brother getting beat in the street, this is beyond friendship. What you gonna do? Are you gonna let him take that L and keep it moving? You gonna join in and help him out? Or are you gonna jeopardize your freedom and go to jail and kill the person that's beating up your brother and say that y'all was scared for your life like the Zimmerman dude did? I don't know if that really work in Houston, but we do know that it works in Florida. All right, so Alfreda say in a normal situation, I will call the cops. Okay, Alfreda, so you're gonna call the cops unless it's your friends and they all taking L's and y'all gonna be walking away with a win. Is that what it is? Girl, Facebook would have me locked up like Akon. They won't let me out. Yeah, I don't get into the Facebook beef no more. I've learned over time how to ignore people and don't even address petty stuff anymore. You know, that's some growth. Your girl has some growth, you know. Never ever did. I was told to protect my brother. Okay, so you your brother's keeper. All right, I feel you. I don't think that I could ever sit back and watch any of my siblings get beat up. I definitely can't watch my son get beat up. That's just not gonna happen. So I just pray that altercations stay away from me because I don't want to take nobody nowhere that they don't want to go. And I don't want my life to ever be at jeopardy. All right. So with all that being said, if your sibling was in a relationship with somebody and you know that that person was abusing them. So Ella, if your brother was getting abused by his wife, would you go over there and beat her up? Or would you mind your business because he's choosing to stay with her? And vice versa. If you were getting abused in your last relationship, would your brother jump in and help you out? Or would he mind his business and be like, okay, well, she's deciding to be with him, so I'm going to just let them be. I know some dudes, they know that they sister crazy and they sister be provoking men and they know that they sister gonna still be with the guy, but they still beat up the dude for beating up their sister. I've always thought that was crazy, but they were taught, you know, just like you your brother's keeper. A lot of men feel like ain't nobody gonna have a right to put their hand on my sister. I don't care if she crazy and want to be with you, but if I find out you putting your hands on my sister, I'm gonna put my hands on you. So I think that's why people should have conversations with the people that they're with prior to getting in a relationship. Because if you know that you're an abusive person and you want to abuse that person that you with, you're going to need to know that they have abusive relatives that's going to come over there and put some hands on you. All right. So we have Alfreda say yes. Kay say no. I'm talking about saying sensitive words. What do you mean saying sensitive words? Oh, like being on Facebook. That's why you had put the shh on there. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I got kicked, put in Facebook jail because I said that I was going to. Well, I don't want to say it now because they might end my life. But let's just say I told my cousin to remind me to pick my foot up off the floor and place it on his body in an aggressive manner, and that got me thrown in Facebook jail. So I'm learning to not use those aggressive words, or as you call it, sensitive words. Okay, Ella say lived in Florida and it was a tussle about me and my bro and I won. Okay, well, I know who to take with me to the club. If I think there's gonna be some altercations, I'm gonna take Alfreda because she got my back, and I'm gonna take Ella because she say, you know, it's a tussle and she got it too. All right, so Alfreda say, friend, I have to drop off. My connection in this small town is horrible and I keep losing connection. All right, please be safe. Let somebody know where you are and mind your business. If you see somebody getting drugged, keep it moving. Tell your friends don't get too drunk because we don't need you be having nobody back having a fight. All right, Ella, that's not going to happen. Everything comes stay me. Ella, please proofread your text before you hit the send button. All right, so Latrice say that sounds like a whole lot of dysfunction. Yeah, it is a lot of dysfunction, but you know what? We have a lot of dysfunctional people in the world. And if you just go down my timeline on Facebook, the men on my Facebook page will have you thinking that it's only women that's dysfunctional. Like men are perfect and don't make mistakes. The only reason why men be tripping is because us women are crazy. Can you believe that? They think we crazy. That's so funny. All right, Kevin, thanks for joining. Kevin says, I'm going to let the authorities handle it. You're going to get a fresh deck of probation and or jail time messing with me or mine. I know that's right. Call the cops. Send them to jail. I tell men, just like these women are quick to call the police when you yell at them too loudly. When these women get up and they start throwing stuff at you and they start hitting on you, call the cops. You ain't got to hit them back. Call the cops. Just like they going to call the cops on you and you going to go to jail. What makes them any special? It's too many double standards in the world. It's okay if a girl call a cop on a guy, but it's not okay when the guy called a cop on a girl. No, because it's not okay for a man to hit a woman. So why should it be okay for a woman to hit a man? Call the cops. Don't even worry about it. All right. So Ella says some brothers lack the understanding of protecting their sister. Not mine. He had to stop me from beating my spouse. You know what? I believe you 100%, girl. You are so crazy. But when I'm telling you, I love watching your TikToks. I love watching you on your stories. And I see you don't care about what nobody thinks. You just be living your life and doing what make you happy. And that part about you, I admire so much. I admire that you are just so carefree. And I love the relationship that you and your brother have. Y'all are so funny. Have always been super funny to me. All right. So I guess that's everybody's outlook on domestic violence. Nobody never really said anything about if they have been able to recognize certain behaviors like Lil Murder with his friend who committed suicide. You know, like, do you guys know what to check for? Or do you guys feel comfortable enough with your friends and family members to let them know when you're having those thoughts? Because you're not alone, and you should never feel like you're alone. And death should never be the option, because that's kind of selfish to take yourself out of the world, knowing that the people that care about you and love you are going to suffer and be sad that you're gone. So to everybody that's watching, and this is me coming from my heart and how I really feel, you are not alone in this world. Even if you think nobody loves you, somebody loves you. Somebody cares about you. Somebody is going to miss you if you're not here. So if you feel like whatever you're going through is just so bad that you don't want to be here anymore, just know that's the devil talking. You know, the devil is very busy in this season right now. So just know that you can talk to me. You can hit me up in my inbox. You can come on my page. You know, if you just need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to hear you out. I'm a very good listener. Come schedule an appointment, get your hair done. If you just don't want to tell me that you want to talk and you just want to come and get some stuff off your chest, sit in my chair and I will do your hair and I will listen to you. And if you don't want no advice, I won't give you no advice. I will just sit there and listen. And if you want to know what I think, I'll tell you what I think. And if you need help, I will help you the best that I can. But just know that killing yourself is never the right option at all, ever. All right, so let's see what we have here. It's a hard topic to talk about. Yes, it is a hard topic to talk about, but you know what? I think that's the problem. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people are suffering in silence. A lot of people going through some things, and they're not the only person that's going through that. You know, and I think that people should talk about the things that they're going through. You shouldn't just post when you're happy. You shouldn't just tell people all the good things and make it seem like life is just perfect for everybody. When you're going through stuff, you never know who you can help. Letting somebody else know that you're going through something, because they might be going through it too. And that alone can make somebody feel like they're not alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, she going through that too? I thought I was the only person. I can't believe somebody like her would be going through that. Like, people be thinking that way. They might see you and just think like everything is great. And it's not. And your testimony or your story could be something to inspire somebody or to uplift somebody and make somebody want to live and be like, you know what, I was tripping with myself. I can't believe that I thought like that. I know a lot of people these days, they don't pray and they don't believe in God, and they don't have somebody that they can go to and talk to when they're going through something. But I'm just here to let you guys know you can talk to me. I have time on my hands to listen to anybody that feel like suicide is an option. Even if you're thinking about homicide, don't do it. Don't do it. I used to work at a prison, and I know exactly how it is in there. You have no independence, no privacy. Somebody has to tell you when to eat, when to wake up, when to take a bath, when to go outside, when to read your mail, when to get your mail. That's not living. And it's more to life than that. It's more to life than that. So anyway, we're gonna get off of that topic and we're gonna talk about something else that's a little bit more uplifting, so to say. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Nick Cannon. I made a post on my page today about Nick Cannon, and I don't know, you guys. I really think that it is weird. Like, I used to like Nick Cannon, not in that kind of way, but like as an entertainer. But now I just think that Nick Cannon is a weirdo. And I know I'm not the only person that feel this way, but what do you guys think about Nick Cannon? Nick Cannon is going really far with the biblical terms of being fruitful and multiply. He is multiplying with multiple women. Multiple women. And I don't know what their agreement is. Do you guys know what the agreement is? Like, what is he telling these women? What is it that, well, I guess he don't have to say anything when you got so many people that's opportunists in the world, so many gold diggers, so many people that's looking for a quick come up. And I guess 9 months is a quick enough come up to not have to worry about nothing for the rest of your life. But do you think that this is a good decision? Like, does anybody see anything weird about him having all these babies? Or is it just okay because he's a millionaire and he has money and he can afford to take care of them? I know a lot of people say all the time, like, oh, you can have as many kids as you can afford. But I've never heard them say you can have as many kids as with many people as you so desire, as long as you can afford to take care of them. Is it brown? Check it out. Yeah, you probably can financially take care of all your kids, but I personally don't think that one person can parent 10 or more children and give each one of those children the undivided attention that they deserve. Like a parent with 1 or 2 kids can't even give their kids 100% of their undivided attention. So when you have all these different children in all these different households with all these different mothers, do you really think that you can give your child the love, affection, and attention that they need when you are not there? Because there's no way possible for you to be there when you got 10 other houses to go to. Andre says they're all deeply in love. I'm pretty sure they are deeply in love, but are they being responsible? Is love enough? I've been deeply in love too, but I ain't gonna be deeply in love enough to have 15 or 20 kids by 15, 20 different guys. Ella say he is making well enough that his great grandchildren will be rich. Beyonce said it in a song. Yeah, okay. So I guess it comes all down to money. So because he has a lot of money, I guess it's okay to go and have sex unprotected with all these different women at the same time. I think I just seen a picture that he have like 4 women right now pregnant at the same time. So that's what money buys you nowadays. It buys uterus. It buys baby mamas. Like, I haven't seen the interview that he's done. I think he did an interview on the Breakfast Club, or he did a podcast with somebody, and he was explaining, about him having all these children and everything. And I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I don't want to say anything to misquote anything that he said. But I'm just curious, like, why is he doing this? Somebody said he was doing it because he needed like some kind of medical help or something, and he was going to get it from one of his babies. I don't know how true that is, but I just don't know what you classify somebody that think that what he's doing is okay. I guess I need to know why he's doing it. Somebody help me out. Y'all watch it. Andre, why you laughing? All right. So Nick Cannon, I do remember when he was married to Mariah Carey, there was like this controversy about him wanting her to have more kids. And everybody in the media was saying that she was superficial and she was shallow because she was more so worried about her figure and her body. And she didn't want to have more kids because she had just had twins. And I think that's just what they were saying. Mariah Carey didn't want to have more kids because she was her figure. So the media kind of like ripped her a new one because they was like, that's your husband. How can you deny him more children? And all because you want your body to look a certain way. Okay, well, she has a right because she's the one that's going to bear those children. I don't think that she wanted to have a surrogate mother. But now when you look at how Nick Cannon is over here recklessly having all these children with all these different women at the same time, do you think that maybe he had this conversation with Mariah Carey when she had the twins and said that he might have told her, I want to have 15 children. And that's why she was like, no, I don't want to do that. And maybe he told her, well, if you don't want to give me these 15 kids, I'm going to get them by somebody. And that's what led to their divorce. Hey, Erica, what do you think about the Nick Cannon situation? I know you can kind of relate a little bit because, you know, you can relate just like I can relate. And that's what I said on my post, you know, like I made a post about Nick Cannon today and somebody came in the comments and they were saying that it's about, you know, what marriage is, this and that. And I'm like, no, my post wasn't about marriage or anything. The only thing that I mentioned in my post was how I could relate or understand that it is impossible for one man to give all of his kids the same amount of attention because it's not humanly possible. It's not. And I know that because I went through that. Ella, they are, who's young? The baby mamas are young because Nick Cannon ain't that young. So is it an age? You're saying the reason why these women are okay with being his baby mama because they're young? I think it has a lot to do with them being young, but I think it have a lot to do with like what they're taught or what they see. Maybe I'm gonna just say this here. If I put myself in their shoes and I was a young woman, I might be looking at like, or look at all these older women that got married and had kids and their husband still left, or look at these women that fell in love with these dudes and they ain't no child support. So at least if I have a baby with Nick Cannon, I know I'm gonna have some money to take care of my baby. That's the only thing that I can think of that could possibly make sense to why a woman would agree to have a baby with Nick Cannon, knowing that he's not gonna be with her and that they just another baby mama. Are they all in relationships? You know, Andre said they all are in love. So are they all, is he in a relationship with all these women? Or is he just going over there dropping babies off? Who knows the story behind Nick Cannon? And nobody wants to say that there's something maybe mentally off with him. As a man, to the men on here, are you comfortable with having multiple women raise your children? That's one thing I never understood. Like, I'm not a man and I don't know how men think. I am a woman and I am a mother and I know how I think as a mother. I can't imagine letting my child go live with somebody and I not have the time to go and check on them or be with them. Like, I wouldn't want my child to be in another household and not know if that child took a bath, if he brushed his teeth, if he ate breakfast, did he eat lunch, do he have friends, do he have a doctor's appointment? When you are not in the household with your child, you are not raising your child. And a lot of people fail to understand this. Just because you're paying child support, that don't mean you're raising your child. That does not make you a good parent. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what's expected of you. So, like, to the people who think, well, he got money, he can take care of it, that means nothing to me. You're not taking care of your kids if your son or your daughter fall off the bike and scrape their knee and they cry and you're not there to go tell them, don't cry, it's okay, let me put a band-aid on it, let me kiss your bobo. You can't do that. What if all your kids the same age because you got like 4 baby mamas pregnant at the same time? They all live in different houses. So you're going to pick a day to go by each kid house to fly a kite with them, to teach them how to ride the bike, to teach them how to tie their shoe. You're allowing somebody else to raise your kids. what's the purpose of having them if you're not going to be the one to teach them? Like, you don't want your own mini me with you? I never got that. Ella says, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, are you willing to say, I had this man baby and it is what it is? It is what it is. You had this man baby, and at least you can say, well, I got a baby by Nick Cannon. You ain't special. Everybody got a baby by Nick Cannon. Why is that why is that something good to say? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I had this theory. I say times are changing, but I'm gonna say this here, and I know I'm gonna piss some men off, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this: for the men and women that grew up in like the 90s, like you were an adult in the 90s, you can relate. Before I say this, let me see what Andre said. His Drumline movie from 2002 has these women lining up to birth his seed. They lame. If they going off a Drumline, they're lame. He was not it in Drumline. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a, major ed or a band student, so nothing about Drumline or him being on the Drumline would make me line up for him. I just think these women they're greedy, they lazy, they don't want to work, and they just looking for an opportunity to get some money without having to do nothing but push out a baby. That's my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to it, but that's what I think. But let me get back to my story, what I was going to tell y'all before we're going to wrap this up. Back in the 90s or early 2000s, I'm going to say that's where the time changed. That's when y'all start getting these women that don't really care what nobody think, that have this city girl mentality or the Megan Thee Stallion mentality. Because I'm going to tell you like this. I used to go out to the club in the late 90s, and I'm going to tell you how dudes used to be. And it's y'all dudes' fault, the reason that women are the way that they are, and the reason that women treat y'all the way that they treat y'all, because I'm still a good woman. I still treat my man like a king. I cook, I clean, and I do everything. You feel me? But anyway, when women used to go out back in the day and we go to the club, we looking all good, we trying to dress up and, feel sexy and pretty, and we go out and a guy try to holler at you and you be like, oh, no, I'm good. And the dude be like, well, F you then, you old ugly MFer. But I want an ugly MFer when you was trying to get my number a minute ago. So that type of mentality and that type of attitude that dudes have, I never understood like why rejection was so hard for men, especially when women be nice to y'all. So when men keep on dissing a woman after she kindly rejects his offer, and y'all start calling her B's and H's and talking bad about them, that's what put women on the defense. That's what make women say, get all attitudes and be all rude and disrespectful, because they're initially used to a man being disrespectful when they reject them. So women, and I'm speaking for myself, like I could be nice and tell the guy, no, I'm not interested, or I got a man and that's what your man got to do with me. That's disrespectful, because why would you tell a woman what your man got to do with me if she's telling you she got a man? Like, you're disrespectful. So at the end of the day, men have been disrespecting women for a long time, and then women decided, I ain't got to put up with this. I don't have to let you talk to me any kind of way. So now women are on the defense. You try to holler at a woman and she gonna chop you up, because she knows as soon as she tell you she's not interested, you gonna chop her up. So you go to that. So now men get mad because women are being disrespectful back to them. So now women be like, okay, well, dude's cheating, dude's talking, crazy to me, treat me less than what I deserve to be treated. So now women start treating dudes the way that they treat them. And women getting out there, they getting their money, like they feel like they don't need you for anything, but they feel like they don't need you for anything because a lot of men weren't doing anything for women. And I'm not saying that all men are like that, but a lot of women experience that. And that's when they came about doing it for themselves and not needing to do for anything, because they feel like a lot of men are only getting with women because they just want to have sex and then they want to leave. So the woman just flipped the script. Men been doing this for years. Y'all been getting ahead and leaving your own self. So now when women do it, it's a problem, because that's not ladylike. That's that double standard again. Men can go around and they can sleep with anybody they want to, and that makes them, I don't think they call them gigolos anymore, but that makes him a player, a pimp. That makes him, I guess his homeboys think he's desirable, but the women we don't look at you as desirable. They just call you community D. We talked about that on the show before. A lot of y'all are elf boys, and you don't even know that you're an elf boy, but that's just how it is. Ella say these old Negroes still on that vibe. I quit. I know, I quit too. Just throw the towel in. But I think that if people stop trying to compare everybody to somebody else or to every situation, then that'll start a change. If people start being honest with each other about who they are, what they want, what their intentions are, what their expectations are, I think that will help out a lot. I just seen a post in one of the groups I'm in where the caption had something to say. It was Lisa Ray, and she looked beautiful, by the way. I think it said that Lisa Ray is like 55 or 54, and the men had a problem with her comment about she don't want to date a man unless he pay her bills. That's her prerogative. If that don't float your boat, keep on pedaling the other way. Like, why do people care about what other people want for themselves? We all should set standards. We all should have boundaries. We all should have expectations. You need to know what you like and what you don't like so that you can tell somebody what you like and what you don't like. Because if they're trying to be with you, they need to know what your standards are. And if you are a woman who don't want to be with a man who doesn't pay your bills, guess what? You don't have to be with a man who don't pay your bills. There is a man, it should be a man that's out there that's going to do everything that you want, because they say it's somebody for everybody. So if you don't like a woman who say that she don't want to be with a man who don't pay her bills, don't talk to her. When she tell you that, that's your cue. Like, okay, well, you ain't the one for me. Let me keep it moving. Why are you trying to be with somebody that's telling you up front what they like and what they don't like, and you know that you don't agree with that? I don't get it. She say, honestly, the bills might be cheap. Yeah, I mean, everybody have bills, and we all have bills to pay, but some people don't want people paying their bills, and some people don't have a problem with paying bills. But at the end of the day, if that's not what you want, then don't be with that person. Why are you forcing yourself to be with somebody that don't meet your minimum requirements? And why are you trying to judge somebody because of their stipulations or their requirements? That person's just not for you. I never got that. I seen a post today. One of my friends on Facebook. It was a funny post, and I like going on his page and looking at the stuff that he say. Maybe a meme or whatever. And I'm trying to see. I don't want to say it wrong, but I think he say us men are tired of dating broke women too. And I honestly can understand how they feel, because again, there's so many double standards. There's a lot of pressure on men to be men. Like now men on social media argue about a traditional man. You have some women that don't care about a traditional man, that you don't have to be traditional. But then you have some men that want the woman to be traditional. So it goes both ways. You can't get mad because a woman wants a traditional man, and you can't get mad if a man wants a traditional woman, because if that's what you want, that's what you want, and you go get it. But when he say men are getting tired of dating broke women, guess what? That man has a right to say, I don't want to date a broke girl. You don't have to date a broke woman. If you want a woman who have a job, date a woman who have a job. Don't get with a woman who don't have a job and don't have no money if that's not what you want, because you setting your own self up for, you setting your own self up for failure. It's not going to work because it's not what you want. Anyway, before I end this live, the last thing is, what do you want to know about Jameelah? What questions do you have? What do you want to discuss? What do you have anything you want to know my opinion on? I give y'all a couple minutes and I'll go ahead and end the show, and I'll catch y'all next Wednesday. I'll say, we is us and nothing less. When I hear these words, I pay attention. When you hear these words, you pay attention. Are you saying we is us and nothing less when you hear those words, or when you hear men say they don't want to be with a broke woman? Which one is it? I never really got too caught up in the whole, men and women who make more, who pay money. Of course, every woman wants to be, well, I'm not going to say every woman. Typically, most women, want their men to be stronger, smarter, wiser, richer than them. And I'm not saying like rich as in rich, but just a little bit more advanced financially. But that doesn't make or break a person. That doesn't say who that person is. Somebody could have a good job today and lose their job and have a regular job tomorrow. Does that determine the type of person they are? No, it doesn't. Your job doesn't define who you are as a person. Andre say, what's in the cup? In my glass here, I have some white cranberry strawberry juice mixed with some apple vodka, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I had a drink. I made this concoction last night, and I fell asleep really early. I think I'm getting kind of old. I'm gonna have to fall back on my drinking. But I've learned from previous shows, I am a work in progress. I used to get so toasted on Cocktails and Conversations, and people were feeling like I was overly aggressive, but I wasn't trying to be overly aggressive. It's just that when the alcohol get in and we talk about certain things, I just get a little bit more passionate about it and my words come out differently. So I had to slow down on the drinking during Cocktails and Conversations. So that's why you probably just only see me take a couple of little sips, because I'm trying to keep it a little tad bit professional for you guys. But yeah, it's just, some vodka and some juice. I did have a little food to eat before I started drinking this. But yeah, I try to stick to the wine usually. But since y'all have me to yourself today, I decided to fix me a little cocktail. Any questions before we end the live that you might want to ask me? Any topics in the group or any topics on social media that's trending that you would like to have my opinion on? Ella say truth juice. Exactly, girl. It was truth juice. I used to have them men mad at me because I be talking about it, especially when I was saying how men over 40 are different. Those men over 40 was in their feelings. They don't want to own up to it. But it's all good. It's all good. Truth juice. I like that. Also, before we go, I always try to shout out a business, a Black-owned business. If you guys go to my page, or clearly you're on my page right now because you're on my Facebook Live, just scroll down. I did have a service at my house this week. I got my carpet shampooed on my stairs. I'm very satisfied with the business. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head right now. Been drinking a little. So just scroll down. And if you ever need your carpet clean, I would suggest that you go ahead and use that fella that I use. He came out, he cleaned the carpet, and he showed me the dirt that was removed from the carpet. He was very informative. So I'll go ahead and put his information on the end of this live so that you know who he is in case you want to go ahead and hire him to come and shampoo your carpet. Let's see. Hey, Tony. All right. So if that's it, if y'all don't have any other questions for me, if y'all don't want to know nothing else about Miss Jameelah, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Y'all had me for 1 hour. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you for supporting me. And remember, nothing that you're going through in life right now is worth ending your life. Somebody is going to miss you. Somebody loves you. And if you just need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. Your girl Jameelah, thank you for joining Cocktails and Conversations. I'll see y'all next Wednesday.